All right, we did it.
Okay. Now,
oh my goodness,
before we get started, Jamie's here, Phil's here, April's here, Ginger's here, Lori Ann, Debbie, and I'm sure Tracy will be joining us. Stella's here. That's great. Listen, after yesterday's show, and please share this one to your friends on Facebook and YouTube or wherever. Just share the link to the show, because after yesterday's show, we wanted to congratulate all of you that follow us and watch our shows Monday through Friday, because you guys have chosen to walk out of the fog and into an area where we're giving you truth and reality. And the reason I bring that up, these two guys, they don't know what I'm about to say. Kevin Walsh has been officially confirmed as the next Federal Reserve chairman by the Senate. So he is in, and reforms are coming to the Federal Reserve. Not in the way that you think. It's not the Federal Reserve ain't going away, but it's going to be reformed now. So that's a great thing. Plus the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act is a gnat's hair away from approval, which is going to be, when the scammers talk about a new financial system, they're talking about fantasy crazy land. What's coming in from the Clarity Act, it's going to completely rebuild the financial system. But it's going to be a good thing. Transactions will be faster and cheaper, and it's going to be a great thing for everybody.
Okay. Hey, Larry, I got to do this. Can you test your audio? How come is it okay?
You hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
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 All right. It's all good. Okay. No. Well, everyone's good. Everyone's good.
Okay.
It was all between the time. Okay.
That's right, Bill. XRP is getting adopted.
One of the things that. All right.
Go ahead, Gene. Gene's
right, guys, one of the things that we talked about earlier, Dave and I watched a video earlier about this, and people are still with this, we got to get rid of the Federal Reserve. This is a definitive line here, guys.
Yeah.
It's either we have either we are the ones trying to mislead you, or they are, because when it comes to this, I'm telling you, Donald Trump is using this because it is his tool to keep the other countries in line. We said that before. All right.
Right. And also, listen, we're pumping oil out of the ground faster than Jed Clampett from the Beverly Hillbillies. All right. We got oil coming out all over the place. Why would we go and limit ourselves to gold? Why? Why would we ever do that when we have gold, we have silver, we have precious minerals, we have oil coming out of our ears? Why would we go, no, we're not going to utilize any of that. We're not going to add that to our wealth. We're just going to use gold. It's crazy talk. Never going to happen.
No. And they went and they got the oil from Venezuela. They're getting the oil from everywhere now. So
beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, Gene, let's do it.
Okay, let's start with this. Even before we get to the dispatch, there was an amazing video. I can't believe that it's not more talked about, but Kash Patel was in Congress, and he just lit up this. I believe it's a senator. I should know this, but anyway, here you go. 50-second video.
Dr. Patel. No, unlike your baseless reports, the only person that was slinging margaritas in El Salvador on the taxpayer dollar with a convicted gangbanging rapist was you. You know, the only person that ran up a $7,000 bar tab in Washington, D.C. at the lobby bar was you. So the only individual in this room that has been drinking on taxpayer dime during the day is you.
Director Patel, come on. These are serious allegations that were made against you.
The allegations are false. Filed. You drinking margaritas with a gangbanger is true and on video.
It just goes to show you
running a $7,000 bar tab at the lobby bar has been filed by your own office.
This goes to
show
drink
during the day. That's you. This is
Chairman,
the ultimate example of hypocrisy.
Mr. Chairman,
I will not be tarnished by baseless allegations
let me
and
ask
fraudulent statements
questions.
from the media.
A $7,000 bar tab.
That's nuts.
I
That's nuts.
guess it was. How could he even write? I believe it. Like, how could he even write it off as a business expense?
Do you realize that even if the three of us went to dinner at Sparks on 52nd Street and 2nd Avenue and drank 2 bottles of Petrus 1982, we couldn't spend $7,000.
Right.
Was it 7? It's all right. So
How do you do that, man? You really got to put an effort into your drinking.
They're drinking the King Louis down.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how they do it. Maybe they did it and they kept it doing it until they got the bottle. That's how they do it that way.
That's it.
Yep. So we solved mystery solved. Anyway, my whole thing with this is, they pin this or try to pin this on Kash Patel. He denied it in Congress, and he threw it right back into them. I think it was just brilliant.
Right.
I just love that he does his homework because he knows he's going to get attacked, and he walks in prepared all the time.
Right.
Yes.
It would
the
almost
last one-
be like he was part of an intelligence agency.
Right. Right.
That was just brilliant. I mean, that's just amazing. All right. Anyway, I thought everyone would get a kick out of that following this. Dave and I talked about it earlier.
Sherry, 7,000. Sherry Edwards Galloway was asking 7,700, 7,000.
7,000. Can you imagine a bar bill 7,000?
At the lobby bar for lunch.
No, seriously, he could do with the Louis 14 shots or whatever it is. He could do with that.
Good. It's nuts, though. And people are paying for that. He didn't pay for that.
No, he's not paying for it. You're paying for it.
But I don't see. I just don't get it. Like, I don't know how you write that off as a campaign expense if that was the case.
I don't think it was a campaign expense.
As long as you're doing any kind of campaign work during that meeting, it's considered an expense.
Yeah.
And there's loopholes for all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Stella
right.
says, will lap dances included? We don't know. We can't comment on stuff like that for the next 5 minutes.
All right. You guys ready to start the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, lead story, guys. If you don't have the dispatch, make sure you go to georgemagazine.com. Sign up for the dispatch. It's free. You get these Monday through Friday. And this one is the lead story. FBI questioning current and former CIA officials in DOJ probe into John Brennan's role into Russia assessment. Have at it, guys. What do you think? What's going on here?
I think this is going to spread. What do you think, Larry?
Oh yeah, that's it. I don't think they can keep this quiet any longer. It's gotten to the point where it's too far out there, and everybody's been fingered. So now the chips are going to fall.
Now, reminder: when the reason why there's a problem in the first place, I believe Brennan went to Congress, testified during the Biden administration. I think there was no DOJ recommendation until after the presidency went to Trump, and now Trump has the DOJ, and then a few years later, it now goes to the DOJ. And this starts out as perjury, but that's just where it begins.
Right.
Yeah. So what they're going to do is, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I think what Todd Blanche is directing to do is you start with Brennan and Clapper, and then you start going after their associates and their associates' associates and so on, and get those guys will all crack. And then that's where they'll build a case, a big, nice, wide net.
You do a big wide net in one shot. Instead of hitting one and then hitting the other one, they just hit them all. Now they're all scrambling with paper in their hand going, uh-oh, calling each other.
Yeah.
I mean, once it's an investigation, we're talking subpoenas. So they could say, did you talk to so-and-so about this? And then in the meantime, they're asking the other person so they know what's up. Did you talk to Brendan about this? And so you have to tell the truth. Otherwise, you are going to get a perjury charge of lying with that.
Yeah.
Well, you subpoena That's why you subpoena everybody, the top people, the middle people, and the bottom people, because somewhere along the line, someone's going to crack and give up everybody.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And the
And
thing
it's normally
is
at the
that
bottom.
I got to tell you, with this Todd Blanche in control of the DOJ and him and Kash Patel working hand in glove, these things are happening.
Now, one way I don't want it to get out of control is because now you have this, everyone's like, oh, let's go after Obama. We're going to go after Obama.
They're not going to go after Obama.
Right.
Gene, tell us why they're not going to go after Obama.
The reason being, and I'll show in the video, is the same reason they can't go after Trump while he's in office, because of the Supreme Court gave him immunity and gave all the presidents of it. So I just say that because if people say, well, what about Obama? They let him off the hook. All presidents, while they're in office doing official business, is off the hook.
They may not do anything to Obama, but they're going to still fling dirt. So it'll, you know what I'm saying?
Just like Larry, what we talked about earlier with Representative Comer, he was head of this the House Judiciary Committee while Joe Biden was president, and every day he was on Fox News saying, "Oh, we got the I've seen the evidence, and the way it looks, it may hook them in, but we've got checks, we've got all this other stuff in them." They had nothing. Yeah, they had nothing the whole time.
And that's the problem. They just keep talking about they have, and basically you're lying right there.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Just like Schiff. Oh, I've seen the evidence of his of what Trump was doing and all of this. He saw nothing.
Saw nothing.
He had nothing.
And people believe that. That's the problem.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the video on Russiagate. And by the way, if you're watching this, make sure you share this. You thought yesterday's show was good. Wait till you see what we got coming up today.
Oh, yeah.
Here is the Russiagate
You will
video.
not be disappointed.
Right. Here we go.
Conspired together, all work together to try to sabotage, undermine, unravel the democratic institutions and structures of this country. The Russiagate hoax, the Russiagate conspiracy, and all of the assaults against our liberties that went with it. The pre-dawn raids, the handcuffing of innocent Americans, the espionage against President Trump's campaign and staff.
Josh, could you see this investigation extending further to perhaps even include Barack Obama? Stephen Miller calls the Russian collusion conspiracy an insurrection.
Look, Barack Obama, Rita, if I'm being very candid with you, is probably not going to be prosecutable under the Trump versus United States Supreme Court precedent. That was the immunity case that came out of the court just last year, where they basically said that if there is a core Article 2 presidential power, then it is very difficult to prosecute.
You know, I just want to point out at the very end there, you see Pam Bondi giving a little runway walk.
her last hurrah.
I know. But that's the so of course, guys, what we're gonna have is we're gonna have all the dinglings on X pretending like there have been nothing is happening, there's no arrest because they haven't gone after Obama.
Right. That was my point on this, guys. You understand that what was good for the geese or whatever it is with Trump was like, okay, you can't go after him with this, but that was the Supreme Court. So it's an easy mark to say, oh, nothing's being done because Obama's still there.
Right.
Yeah. He's untouchable, unfortunately.
Well, in the same way that they gave Trump the immunity. Remember, the Democrats were going after him hot and heavy, and the Supreme Court, no, if he's conducting in his official capacity, he has immunity.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, like it or not, but it's good one way and whatever. Okay. Dave and Larry, big day at the polls yesterday. We've been talking about this. The Trump endorsement machine rolls on. Nebraska and West Virginia delivered GOP victories. In a nutshell, Trump endorsed candidates did very well. And the big showdown next week, I believe it's going to be the 19th, correct? With
the 19th. Good, Larry. What do you think about the Trump endorsements?
Trump endorsements. Remember how Trump endorsements used to go? People were afraid to be asked Trump for his help, and they didn't know how they were going to do, and these were bottom people. Now everybody wants Trump's help because that puts them right at the top, and
Right.
all winning, all of them. They just realize that if you don't jump on top of this, you get in on this steam train, you're going to miss it. And the right people are finally getting involved.
Yeah, yeah. And all of them, Gene, Larry, all of them from West Virginia and Nebraska, all the Trump endorsements, clean sweep.
Yes.
Clean sweep.
Yeah. I mean, he's on a hot streak, but the name of the game is going to be next week, because it's kind of like it is a bragging rights series, if you want to put it that way, because it's Massey versus Ed Gallivan in Kentucky. And this one is the #1 House race primary in history. So that's going to be next week. It's a lot on the table there. All right.
That goes.
This is good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Okay.
All right, what we got up
Dave,
next?
this one's
Please
the
share this, because this is going to be hot stuff.
All right, here we go. Dave, you want to walk us through this article that came out today?
Yeah, we put this article out, Inside the Quiet Civil War, how Michael Flynn built a shadow network to undercut Trump's MAGA machine. And this article, I got to tell you, it's being read far and wide. You could take that down now, Gene.
Okay.
It's being read far and wide. Many people are reading it. As a matter of fact, the very subject of the article, retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn read it and left us a comment.
All right, Dave,
Up,
it's all on you here. Let me just take down the banner. So
Okay, so this is what we get. So Michael Flynn says, "Dear Gene, your magazine must have nothing better to write about. I would ask next time that you reach out to me personally for comment. You know how to get a hold of me, since we had you and your family many times on the Reawaken tour that helped you get your message out after your departure from the White House post-2020 election." I still don't know what message he's talking about. "I always enjoyed listening to that story. I thought the way you joked about Trump was funny. From my perspective, I'm trying my hardest to get the word out about the threats we face here inside of America. In a couple of comments in your article, your magazine gets close to defamation. Anyway, I knew there was a good reason I didn't read your magazine. Have a nice day." So we responded in a very salacious, provocative clickbait. No, we responded, like always, in a very professional way. "Retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, thank you for reaching out. Our coverage examined publicly reported dynamics within the broader populist movement, and the article reflects analysis drawn from multiple independent sources. And as with all of our political reporting, the piece was not intended to categorize your work or mission beyond what is already part of the public record. We stand by our standards and the accuracy of the reporting. We appreciate your perspective, and should future coverage involve your work directly, we will be glad to offer you the opportunity to comment on the record. George Magazine editorial team."
Okay, so there you have it. Dave, where can people find the article? Just so I know.
What we suggest is go to georgemagazine.com and look in the menu on the topics. Go to the topics under the dispatch, and you'll find it in there. We encourage everyone to read this article. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah. So all right.
And apparently, neither was Michael Flynn.
Yeah. So he weighed in on that this morning. It went out this morning on the dispatch, and he already weighed in on it.
Yep.
All right.
Bill, hold on a second. Yeah, maybe, because we discovered that he subscribed to the dispatch.
There we go.
All right. Okay. You want to talk about Donay's comment here?
Yes, let's talk about Donay's comment, because our social media team, and this was my fault. This was my direction. I said, "Here's what I want you to post first thing this morning," and they did, which they normally pay no attention to me.
Okay.
Can you name all of the JFK Jr. cosplay fakers list in the comments. And
Okay.
our friend Donay.
Yes. Okay. So this is Donay Clement. You guys know her father, Kim Clement. This, by the way, embodies what we've been talking about, but it puts a real face to this. So basically, we said, hey, you know, these fake cosplayers. Okay. Let me read this. Okay. This is Donay Clement. The most ridiculous one, and what really woke me up to this, was when they tried to say my dad was JFK Jr. I lost my dad in 2016 and really hate when people try to say he's still alive and he's also JFK Jr. And he's married to Princess Diana, who is also supposedly still alive. And they are actually married and secretly running the country. My dad died in my arms. He couldn't speak. He couldn't move his body because stroke has taken his ability to move on the right side and then on the left side. This was a huge trauma, and the complete lunacy of this BS conspiracy theory is cruel. None of these stories are true. We were lied to, and I'm very upset about it. Nobody was executed at Gitmo, you morons. Why execute Obama and then replace him with a clone who runs around doing exactly what the original Obama did, causing trouble? What was the point then? I'm over it. It's a lot easier to fool people than it is to convince them that they have been fooled. And this is just absolutely amazing what she just said.
So here you have a woman. This is what we were talking about the other day on the show, guys, is that these conspiracies, these crazy stories, they're hurting people. They're hurting the families of the people you're talking about. We were discussing the scientists that are missing and how all the cases are disconnected and the families are coming out saying, stop it already. Well, here, this is someone we know, someone that we care about, and look at what she wrote.
Guys, with this, you understand that the stuff that you're saying, it's crazy. All these people that are still alive, could you just stop it? Because it's really hurting people. The people, I don't know what it is, if it's clickbait or they just want to mess with people or what it is.
There's a ton of them out there. It's amazing. You go clicking around TikTok. I got switched out with JFK Jr. as a baby, and I wrote a book, and it from one end to the gamut to the other, they're all out there, and it's amazing. It truly is.
Is there no shame to this? Is there no shame to this? Because I mean,
that's the point. No shame? Don't you have shame? I don't know. Some people just don't care. They have no feelings. There's other people, like Dave was saying, there's other people's families involved. You know, it's not just the person. Bad enough you're hurting the person. You're destroying people's families now that have to relive this over and over and over again.
Right. And here she actually, and I mean, it was very bold of her. I mean, she came out and in writing out that message, relived the pain. You know, of her father dying in her arms, he had a stroke, he had this, that, and the other thing, and then cluckos are online saying, "Oh, Clementi's still alive and he's mad," and then he got secretly married to Princess Diana, and they're secretly running the country.
Right. Go ahead, please.
I understand some people have been wearing them tinfoil hats, and they were right. But there are some people that wear a tinfoil hat more like a suit, and they're just a little carried away.
Right.
I will say another one. Someone said, because they saw Comey was, going, like, been arrested. They said, "Oh, don't worry. Comey was already executed at Gitmo." You realize the guy is 7 feet tall. He goes, "It's an actor." Do you realize how hard it is to find an actor that looks exactly like Comey? It's also 7 feet tall. And here's the other thing. I'm going to say this one more time. This whole thing that J.D. Vance is Paul Walker, whatever. We did the research at this height. You realize, even if it was an actor, that's illegal. That means that person has snuck their way in, has access to the nuclear codes, and he's an actor. Paul Walker has it. We didn't vote him in. So stop with this nonsense. And if you hear this nonsense, please go to that person and say, "Come on, man, that is such bullshit. Do you have any proof on it? Because that's what's happening. Paul Walker, JD Vance, our vice president, is not really our vice president. It's an actor, just an actor. So you realize that there's a crime being committed, and that actor has access to the nuclear codes with Trump. It's so stupid. Stop it. Really.
It gets beyond stupid. It gets beyond stupid. Sometimes it's embarrassing.
It is.
You got look. Here's how this has to be dealt with, and it's really the only way, because you have reasonably good people that have been marginalized, even by their own families, as being the dumb one or this, that, and the other. And then you have these con artists that are the MAGA influencer network and all of this. And they come along and tell this person who has been marginalized most of their life that, you know what, you're really the smart one. And here's the information. And this is what's going on. And none of these other people know it. And now you have something they don't know.
Right.
And then this marginalized person builds their identity on this information, whatever it is, and they proclaim it. They tell co-workers, they tell people at the supermarket, they preach it wherever they go, because they have now become evangelists for this crazy talk. So how do you get that person now by just telling them they're wrong and dumb and all of that, which is our natural wanting to do, but that's not going to work. They will fight you.
Right.
So how do you walk them back? It's a very difficult thing.
I think what it is, in the reasonableness, except for it's funny how she says it. No one was executed at Gitmos, you morons. Why execute Obama and then replace him with a clone who runs around doing the same exact thing? I mean, just think about that. It's like, oh, okay, wow, that makes sense.
Where'd you get a 60-year-old clone anyway? So, let's be realistic. You got to raise them. You can't. I understand they may be made, but
I mean, after all of this hullabaloo, really, you're gonna have Diana being part of running the country? What in the world does she know about running a country?
All right, guys.
Let's first see if she can run a Walgreens.
Guys, let's move on. Let's move on to the spy story here. We'll do this one here. One second. All right. Chinese spy infiltration. Mayor Bus adds to growing timeline on foreign influence creeping into the U.S. here.
Gene's trying to tell me this girl is 78 years old. I'm not buying it.
She's 58. All right. Let's do the video here first. Here we go.
Now, she's accused of acting as a foreign agent for the Chinese government, and tonight the Trump administration is weighing in. That's Eileen Wang in a 2022 campaign video when she was running for Arcadia City Council. On Monday, the 58-year-old resigned from her post as mayor after being charged with acting as a foreign agent for the Chinese government. The Department of Justice says Wang worked with Yaoning Mike Soon, an associate, to promote the interests of the People's Republic of China, pushing propaganda in the U.S.
All right. This is our FBI at work, and good job for Kash Patel and the Department of Justice. I think she already pleaded guilty, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
I question on that one. How did she get so far into the system? I mean, geez, they do a background check on me for a basic job.
Well, okay. It's in this the part of California, as you can see with her campaign ad. There is many Asians there, and in California, there's a lot of seats that are held by Asians. So she basically ran for city council, I guess, and then after that ran for mayor. And that's what happened. She got into office.
Don't they do background checks on these people? I mean,
yes, but here's how it is. Okay, so let's say, and this is just a hypothetical, that she was what we really don't like to refer to as an anchor baby, but her parents were here in the United States. She's born here, right? And then becomes a citizen. So she's a citizen. goes back to mainland China, grows up and whatever, and then at the appropriate time comes back to the United States.
Listen, I worked for Homeland Security.
Illegal in that.
I worked for Homeland Security on the waterfront as a security guard, standing at a gate, watching a ship in the middle of the night. And I had a federal background check done to stand at a gate. They don't do the same exact things for people like
There's
this.
nothing illegal about being born in this country.
Yeah, but at least things would have been shown up that you did, and they would have questioned. I mean,
no, this is I mean, listen, that's why they call them spies. She's conducting herself. We even had this conversation, and I didn't know it. She's wearing a little Christian cross here, so she's a Christian person. By the way, we researched that and what the requirements, by the way, to be in the Communist Party. So she blended right in. I mean, she that's why they call them spies. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's talk. We got a story here. This is interesting here. Trump urges Republicans to be bold as red state push to rewrite the congressional maps. And there's already a group of once again, just like Indiana, a group of senators, Republicans, that are not playing the game. All right.
Yeah, naturally. Because they can't, they're like the New York Mets. They don't want to win.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, if I had to, let's watch the video first. What happened in South Carolina, my former state here. Here we go.
The state's congressional districts just failed in a 29 to 17 state Senate vote. That proposal was in reaction to President Trump's call for Republican-controlled states to redistrict for this year's midterms. It would have eliminated South Carolina's only Democratic district held by Jim Clyburn, but 5 Senate Republicans joined all Democrats against the measure, falling short of the 2/3 majority needed for passage.
Okay, I am from South Carolina. At least one of these senators that that was the 5 dissenting ones, I know he's in my district. I'm just saying, it makes you wonder. I mean, what's the connection? Is there a connection to Jim Clyburn, who is very powerful? He is. They call him the kingmaker. He was the one that endorsed Kamala Harris.
Well, he did more than endorse Kamala Harris. He foisted her onto Biden.
Yeah,
he basically said, if you want to win South Carolina, you've got to take.
He's very powerful, and he's very powerful, and he brings the bacon home to South Carolina.
Yeah,
this makes me wonder. What? I would just like to know. Not to say anything's illegal. I would love to know what the connection is. Hey, I like this guy. He's a Democrat, but he brings money into my place. I would love to hear that.
Well, it's got to be something like that. It has to be, and there's nothing illegal about that. That's what congressmen and senators are supposed to do. They're supposed to, be concerned with their constituents, the people that voted for them, and bring the bacon home, so to speak. But frankly, I think that the Democrats, it's not like the Republicans in South Carolina would be eliminating, like a wide cloth of seats. Let's say there were 14 seats and they switched it down to 5, right? This is the one guy. So it's like everybody was like, All
right. With this, Mike Johnson predicts GOP could gain up to 8 seats in the midterms. Of course, this would be, normally speaking, if this happens, the party in control of the presidency loses seats here, but this could be a change here.
Finally.
Okay. Let's do this.
Now, you got a video for this?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right, let's watch this. Oddly, this is Jim Clyburn, the one that they wanted to take away a seat or maybe take away a seat. But watch what he says about this. Here we go.
After redrawing maps in 6 states, Republicans now have approximately an 8-seat advantage in these gerrymandering wars. What do you think this might mean come November? Might Republicans hold the House?
Well, they might, and they might not, because I do believe that the voters in this country are watching very closely, and they are feeling emotionally what the threat is to our future. And I do not believe that the majority of the voters in this country condone and will agree with what President Trump is doing.
All right.
Okay. All right. Just let me say this. So in Virginia, the Democrats got their pee-pee slapped by the Virginia Supreme Court, right? And their whole redistricting plan, where they were basically close to eliminating the Republicans, that was thrown out. Okay, so that was thrown out. We don't know what happened. There we go. So all of that was thrown out. Now,
yeah, we got problems with this down here.
Larry, you got some kind of thing going on there. I think it's switched microphones back.
There you go. Okay.
There you go. Good. So anyway, so now they threw that in the Virginia Supreme Court threw that map out, and these guys are on here now complaining about what Trump is doing.
Well, I mean, what you're going to have here, basically with
you guys hear me at all?
Yeah.
You hear me? I can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just fine. Here we go. With this, basically, you have Jim Clyburn, who almost got his seat taken away. But I do appreciate.
Well, hold on a second.
No, I'm not hearing you.
You got all of this.
Larry, all right. Larry, just stay away for now. We're almost done with the show.
It's
Okay?
all right. It's all right.
All right.
He's okay.
All right. Okay, Dave, you go here.
Nothing. I said my piece. I think that the Democrats are going to cry about Trump now, but because their dirty work, it wasn't successful.
Well, here it is. Even if it was with South Carolina, that's just one seat there that they could have gained. But I think ultimately speaking, Tennessee's going there, and then you already have Louisiana, and then Virginia basically is a bounce back for it.
Yeah.
All right.
There he is.
All right.
I lost your sound. I don't know why.
How about now?
Sounds perfect. My phone rang. My phone rang and it interfered.
This is a testament to the Apple ecosystem. Larry is buried up to his eyeballs in the Apple ecosystem with the watch and the Mac and the phone, and he's got Alexa on his app. Listen, this is what happens. The phone rings and it cuts your it flip-flops your whole system.
It did.
All right.
But Apple, it just works. It just works. Windows is bad. Don't use Microsoft.
Windows. Just the sound of that gives me the willies.
All right. Tomorrow, a reminder, tomorrow is Thursday, so the show is only for subscribers, correct? So we'll have that tomorrow?
Yes. Now, tomorrow is our subscriber-only show, and we'll be doing that from YouTube. Yep. So all of our subscribers will get the email in the morning.
Right.
Be sure to check your spam folder. If you gave us a felonious email that's wrong, or you did instead of gmail.com, you put gmail.con with an N, you're not going to get the link.
All right. So that's going to be tomorrow. So check for the link there. And also, we just got a couple of new subscribers too, by the way, either the AI here or the crypto. That's one of them. Of course, the other ones as well, if you are a George subscriber. If you're a subscriber in any way with that, you will get the link.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Anything else, guys, before we sign off here?
Well, I got to tell you, this was a big show. Please go read that article on the quiet Civil War.
All right. Sounds good, guys. We will see you guys for subscribers tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Larry, great job.
Same here. I'll talk to you. Bye.
Thanks for checking us out. Don't forget to go to georgemagazine.com and sign up for the Dispatch. It's free. Get the emails and the news stories. And check us out Monday through Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can check us out on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you then.